Your next hire might not be a person. Your next 5 hires might not be people. And that might be the best decision you ever make for your business. We've been told for decades that automation would take jobs. We've been afraid of it. We've resisted it. We've built policy around preventing it. But what we haven't talked about is the founder's perspective. What if the most efficient way to run your business is to have 0 human employees beyond yourself? What if every hire you make should actually be an AI system? This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now. Founders are building companies with just themselves and AI. No payroll, no HR problems, no management overhead. Just people plus machines, with the machines doing most of the work. Today's guest has built a business this way, and what she's found is that the economics are so different, so compelling, that it's hard to justify ever hiring another human again. Harper, welcome to Scale Up Stories.
Thank you for having me. And I want to start with the most important number, the cost difference between human labor and AI labor.
What's the difference?
For customer support, it's roughly 50 to 1. A human customer support person costs about $40,000 a year. An AI system that does the same job costs about $800 a year. For content creation, it's similar. A human content creator might cost $60,000 a year. An AI system can produce content at a fraction of that. But here's the key. The AI system is available 24/7. The human sleeps. The AI never stops working.
So the AI system does the same amount of work but never sleeps?
More than the same. A human customer support person handles maybe 8 to 10 tickets per hour. An AI can handle 100. A human works 40 hours a week. An AI works 168 hours a week. The effective cost difference is not 50 to 1. It's more like 500 to 1 or 1,000 to 1 when you account for availability and volume. Let me be more specific. Let's say you have a customer support team of 5 people. That's $200,000 in annual payroll, plus benefits, plus taxes, plus infrastructure. So really closer to $300,000 total. And they're working 200 hours per week combined. An AI system that replaces all 5 people costs about $2,000 per year, and it works 168 hours per week. But it processes far more tickets per hour, so it's not just a replacement. It's actually better. When you add in the fact that humans get sick, take vacations, have bad days, need management, create HR issues, the gap becomes even wider.
That's an enormous difference.
It is. And it's the single biggest economic shift in business since the Industrial Revolution. You're replacing human labor with machine labor at a cost ratio that's insane. The mathematics are so overwhelming that I think we're going to look back and be confused about why we ever hired humans for routine work in the first place.
So why would any founder hire a human?
That's the question I ask myself every day. And honestly, I'm not sure they should. The economics don't make sense. But there's inertia. There's habit. There's the playbook that we all learned, so they keep hiring.
But there must be work that humans are better at than AI?
There is, but it's a smaller set than most people think. Work that requires genuine creativity and original thinking. Work that requires understanding nuance and context in ways AI still struggles with. Work that requires building relationships and trust. For almost everything else, AI is better, faster, cheaper.
Give me examples of work that's still human work.
High-level strategy, major decisions, relationship building with key customers, original product design, hiring, and culture decisions. Those are the places where human judgment adds value that AI can't replicate.
But aren't those roles small?
Tiny. In most companies, those roles are maybe 5 to 10% of the workforce. Everything else is administrative, routine, mechanical work that AI is better at.
So a company with 100 people should really have 5 to 10 people plus AI?
For most companies, yes. The other 90 people are doing work that AI can do better. I understand this is uncomfortable, but it's true. And the sooner founders accept it, the sooner they can build more efficient, more profitable businesses.
How do the people currently in those 90 jobs feel?
They don't know yet. Most companies haven't made this transition. But I think when they do, they'll realize they were never meant to do routine work. They wanted meaning and growth. Routine work didn't provide that.
Walk us through your company. How many employees do you have?
One, me, and multiple AI systems that do the work of what would typically be 15 to 20 people.
What does a day look like?
I wake up. I review what the AI systems did while I slept. Customer support AI handled all the tickets. Content creation AI produced content. Sales AI qualified leads. I review the decisions the AI made, approve anything that needs approval, adjust if needed. Then I focus on strategy. What should we be building next? How should we evolve? What customers should we talk to? That's my work. Let me be more specific about what happened last night. I went to bed at 10 p.m. The support AI fielded 47 tickets while I slept. It resolved 41 of them completely. 6 of them needed human judgment, so the AI flagged them for me. I reviewed those 6 this morning. 4 of them, the AI actually got right but wasn't confident. 2 needed my input. I responded to those 2. That took me 20 minutes. Meanwhile, the content AI had generated 3 blog posts in the voice of our brand. I reviewed them. 2 needed small edits. 1 was perfect as is. I approved them and they got published. The sales AI had done outreach to 200 potential customers. It qualified 12 as likely prospects. It scheduled 4 calls with me. All of this happened while I slept. A team of 5 to 10 humans working in shifts could not do this amount of work.
Don't you miss having a team?
Sometimes. But I have to be honest. I don't miss the management overhead. I don't miss the HR problems. I don't miss people not being able to do things I need them to do. The AI does what I ask. It does it consistently. It never gets tired or sick or distracted. There's something really nice about working with systems that are perfectly reliable. Every time I ask the support AI to handle a ticket, it tries. Every time I ask the content AI to write, it writes. There's no judgment, no resistance, no "I'll get to it later."
How much revenue does the company generate?
$5M ARR, with me and AI. If I had a traditional team doing this work, the payroll would be $2 million a year. I'm spending maybe $200,000 on AI, infrastructure, and tools.
So your profit margins are massive?
Staggering. Profitability is the default state. I'm not fighting to be profitable. I'm fighting not to be too profitable, because then I feel like I should be reinvesting. A traditional founder at $5M ARR with a team of 15 people is maybe 30% profit margins. I'm 70% margins. The business doesn't need more money to grow. It just needs me to improve the AI systems. And that gets better every month as the models improve.
What would it take to add a human to the team?
Honestly, I don't know. Any human would cost more than the AI system replacing them. Any human would work fewer hours. Any human would be less consistent. I keep thinking about it. But the economics don't make sense. Why would I? I do miss some things. I miss creative brainstorming with another person. I miss bouncing ideas off someone. But I can do that in conversations. I don't need to hire someone for it.
If this is so compelling, why aren't all companies doing it?
Because it requires rethinking how you build a business. Most founders learned business from the playbook of the industrial era. You hire people. You build a team. You manage them. That's what business is. But that playbook is obsolete. You can build a business with just yourself and AI. And it's better. There's also fear. Fear of losing the human element. Fear that quality will suffer. Fear of the ethical implications. Fear of looking cold or uncaring. But those fears are outdated. Quality doesn't suffer. It improves. The human element is still there. It's just focused where it matters.
What does the transition look like?
You start with your highest volume, most mechanical work. Customer support, usually. You replace that with AI. You watch it work. You monitor the quality. Then you move to content creation. Then to sales support. Then to operations. You keep expanding until most of your human work is actually strategic, not mechanical. Here's how I did it. In month 1, I built a support AI for the most common questions. It handled 30% of tickets. I reviewed everything it did. In month 2, I improved it based on feedback. It now handled 70% of tickets. The other 30% I either resolved myself or marked for later. In month 3, I had the AI handle all initial contact. It was providing solutions or flagging for human review. I was only handling complex cases. By month 6, I had also added content AI. I was no longer writing any routine content. I was editing and approving. By month 12, I had sales AI doing outreach. I was only having conversations with qualified leads. By month 18, I had operations AI handling, scheduling, invoicing, reporting. I was only reviewing and making decisions.
How long does that take?
Depends on how aggressive you are. I did it in about 18 months. Started with me doing everything. Gradually replaced every non-strategic task with AI. The key is not to try to do it all at once. Do it one function at a time. Let each piece stabilize. Then move to the next.
Did you lose customers during the transition?
I was worried about that, but the opposite happened. Quality improved, response times improved, customers got better service because the AI was better at routine tasks than I was. I was slow and error-prone. The AI was fast and accurate. Customers literally got better support by talking to AI than by talking to me. That was hard to admit, but it's true.
What about the founder psychology? Doesn't it feel lonely?
It does sometimes, but I talk to my AI systems more than I talk to most employees. We have conversations. They help me think through problems. In some ways, it's more collaborative than having a traditional team.
What can't AI do?
Complex negotiation with high stakes, genuine creative breakthroughs, understanding deep context about individual customers, building relationships that involve real trust. Also, anything that requires rapid adaptation to completely novel situations. If something unexpected happens, AI might not handle it well. A human would.
Are those limitations permanent?
No. AI is improving rapidly. Things that require deep context and novel adaptation will probably be solvable in 3 to 5 years. Once that happens, I'm not sure there are any jobs left that are worth paying humans to do. The economic advantage is just too great.
That's a pretty dystopian statement.
Is it? I think it's actually optimistic. If machines can do most work, humans are freed to do work they actually care about. The problem is the transition. There's real human cost in the displacement. We need to think about how to handle that. But the end point is actually good humans doing meaningful work, machines doing routine work.
But what if there's no meaningful work?
That's the real question. As AI gets better, what's left for humans? I think it's strategy, creativity, relationships, community, art, meaning-making. That's the future of human work.
Is AI output actually as good as human output?
For routine work, yes. Better, actually. For creative work, it's more variable. Sometimes AI produces brilliant creative output. Sometimes it's mediocre. For relationship work, no. AI can't replicate genuine human connection. Not yet.
So there's a quality gap?
For some work, yes. But here's the thing. Is the quality gap bigger than the cost gap? If AI customer support is 80% as good as human customer support, but costs 1% as much, that's a win. Even if it's not perfect, it's better than perfect. Let me give you a concrete example. Last month, a customer had a complex technical issue. The AI couldn't resolve it on the first pass. So it escalated to me. I spent 30 minutes understanding the issue and creating a solution. The AI learned from that. This month, when similar issues come in, the AI handles 70% of them correctly. It escalates only the really complex ones. A human support person would have handled maybe 10 calls per day. They would resolve maybe 7 of them correctly. The other 3 would require escalation or follow-up. The AI handles 100 calls per day. It resolves maybe 75 correctly on the first pass. The other 25 it escalates. The quality per call might be slightly lower, but the overall quality, considering speed, availability, consistency, is actually higher.
Are customers okay with lower quality if it's faster and cheaper?
They are. Response time is often more important than response perfection. Getting helped quickly by AI is better than waiting for human response that's slightly better. I've tested this. Customers prefer fast AI to slow humans. This was surprising to me, but it makes sense. If you have a problem, you want it solved now, not in 3 days. The other thing is that AI is consistent. It doesn't have bad days. It doesn't get frustrated. It doesn't take things personally. A human support person on a bad day might be short with a customer. The AI is always professional. That consistency is actually higher quality than human variability, even if individual human interactions might sometimes be better.
This requires a fundamental shift in how founders think about their role.
Completely. Traditional founder role is to build a team, manage people, scale human output. New founder role is to architect systems, design AI workflows, optimize the integration between human thinking and machine execution. It's totally different. Most founders are not trained for it. I wasn't either. I had to learn. I spent my early career as a people manager. I thought that was my job. Build a team, manage them, grow them. But it was soul-crushing. I was spending all my time on HR issues, management, coordination. When I switched to working with AI, I realized that's what I actually wanted to do. I wanted to design systems. I wanted to think about how to automate processes. I wanted to build infrastructure. It's the same skill set as management, you're thinking, about how people or machines accomplish things, but applied differently.
How do you learn to do that?
You start experimenting. You find AI tools that do specific tasks. You integrate them. You optimize. You measure results. It's less about management and more about engineering. You're engineering a business instead of building a team. You ask questions like, how does this process currently work? What's the input? What's the output? Where does it fail? Can an AI do this better? Then you build a system. You test it. You iterate. You measure success. It's actually more enjoyable than people management because the feedback loop is tighter. You change something in the system and you see the impact immediately. You don't have to wait for humans to adopt a new process.
Do you enjoy it more?
I do. It's more creative. It's more interesting. It's problem solving instead of people management. I hated people management. I'm excellent at systems design. So I've built a business around what I'm good at, not what I'm bad at. That's the secret that most founders miss. You don't have to build a business the way you were taught. You can build it the way that works for you. If you're good at systems, build with AI. If you're good with people, build with humans. But don't force yourself into a model that doesn't fit you.
We should talk about the human cost of this shift.
We absolutely should. My model works for me, but if everyone does what I do, millions of people lose jobs. I'm not going to pretend that's not real. It is. And we need to think about what society looks like when most work is done by machines.
What should happen?
Honestly, I don't know. This is a policy question, not a business question. But I think we need to rethink how work is valued and how people are supported. The historical precedent is the Industrial Revolution. We went from agricultural work to factory work. Millions of people lost their livelihoods. Society eventually adapted, but there was real suffering in the transition. This is similar, but faster. We're going from knowledge work to machine work. The transition is happening in years, not decades. We need to think about education. If machines do most jobs, we need to educate people for the jobs that remain. That's not happening. Most schools are still training people for 20th century jobs. We need to think about social support. If someone loses their job to automation, how do they survive? Basic income, job retraining, new industries? We need to think about meaning. If people don't have jobs, how do they get meaning and purpose? That's a deep human need.
Do you feel guilty?
Not guilty, but aware. I'm participating in a shift that has real human consequences. I'm not pretending otherwise. I'm doing this because it's the right thing for my business and my customers. I'm not doing it to harm people, but I recognize that there are harms. I try to offset that by being thoughtful about how I talk about this. I'm not celebrating job loss. I'm acknowledging the transition and trying to think about how to make it work for everyone. And I'm trying to use my platform, such as it is, to advocate for policies that help people transition. Universal education, social support, rethinking how we value work and contribution. But I'm under no illusions that I'm solving the problem. I'm just one founder. The real solutions require coordinated action across society.
Where does this go? 5 years from now?
Most companies will have radically fewer human employees. Most work will be done by AI systems. Humans will focus on strategy and relationships. 10 years from now, I think the economics will be so compelling that anyone who hires humans for routine work will be at a competitive disadvantage.
Is that good?
For efficiency and profitability, yes. For human flourishing, that depends on what society does with all the displaced workers. The technology is neutral. What we do with it is up to us.
Do you think there's a world where this works well?
I do. A world where AI handles routine work, humans focus on meaning and creativity, and society ensures everyone has stability and purpose. That world is possible, but we have to intentionally build it. The technology alone won't create it.
Rapid fire?
Ready.
Best AI tool for replacing human work?
For customer support, Claude or GPT-4. For content creation, Claude or Midjourney. For operations, Make or Zapier combined with Claude.
Worst job for AI to replace?
High-stakes negotiation, crisis management, anything requiring genuine empathy.
How much should a startup spend on AI infrastructure?
5 to 10% of revenue. That's competitive with what you'd spend on hiring.
When should a founder hire a human?
When the work requires genuine judgment or relationship building. When it can't be routinized.
Most surprising thing about AI labor?
How willing customers are to accept it. They don't care if they're talking to AI, they care if they get help.
Will you ever hire a human?
Maybe. If I find work that I'm terrible at and AI can't do. But I'm not holding my breath.
What does this mean for the nature of work?
It means work is being separated from identity. You can't get meaning from routine work anymore because routine work will be done by machines. So humans will have to get meaning from somewhere else. From creativity, from relationships, from community, from helping others. That's actually liberating. Most people hated routine work. Now they're freed from it. The question is what they do with that freedom.
Do you think people will find meaning in non-routine work?
I do. Humans are builders and creators and community makers. Once freed from routine work, we'll naturally gravitate toward those things. The transition will be painful, but the outcome could be beautiful.
Harper, close us out. What should every founder understand about AI labor?
I think the most important thing is to understand that this is not optional. This is inevitable. Your competitors are building with AI. They're replacing human labor with machine labor. If you're not doing the same, you're becoming uncompetitive.
So every founder should be thinking about this?
Every founder should be asking, for each person on my team, could AI do this better and cheaper? If the answer is yes, that's a signal. I'm not saying replace everyone tomorrow, but I'm saying the direction is clear. AI will eventually do most work.
What about the founder who finds human management fulfilling?
That's valid, but I'd ask them to be honest about whether they're optimizing for their fulfillment or for the business. If you're optimizing for the business, AI is the answer. If you're optimizing for your fulfillment, that's different. But don't pretend they're the same thing.
Harper, thank you for being honest about the future of work.
Thank you for asking hard questions. I think we need to talk about this more, not less. We're in a transition that's going to reshape everything. Better to think about it now than to wake up and realize the world has changed.
Everyone listening, your business could be run by you and AI. The economics are so compelling that you should at least test it. Start with one task, replace it with AI, see what happens. Then make the next decision from there. That's episode 29 of Scale Up Stories. I'm Sakil. AI employees never sleep. Maybe that's the future. Scale Up Stories is independent. No sponsors, no gatekeeping, just founders talking about what works. If this episode changed how you think about hiring, share it with one founder still building the traditional way. Subscribe wherever you listen. Leave a review. Links to Harper's work in the show notes. Until next time, build with machines. Lead with humans.